The night before D-Day, tens of thousands of men sat in ships waiting to invade France. Many of them knew they might be dead within 24 hours. The strange part isn't that they were afraid. The strange part is what they did with that fear. Because when historians started comparing soldiers across different wars, different countries, and even different centuries, they found something almost impossible to ignore. Greek hoplites did it, Roman legionaries did it, medieval knights did it, Civil War soldiers did it, the men storming Normandy did it. For more than 2,000 years, the pattern barely changed. And once you see it, you'll never think about bravery the same way again. For as long as humans have fought wars, armies have faced the same problem. You know what's coming. You can't stop it. And you have an entire night to think about it. What do you do with those hours? Do you train? Do you pray? Do you try to sleep? Do you pretend you're not scared? History gives us a surprisingly clear answer, but before we get there, we need to go back, way back. The night before the Battle of Plataea in 479 BC, Greek soldiers weren't running drills. They were watching birds, studying smoke, reading omens, sacrificing animals. On the surface, it sounds ridiculous. Thousands of men preparing for one of the most important battles in Greek history by staring at the sky. But before we dismiss it as superstition, it's worth asking a different question. Why did humans keep doing this? Not just Greeks. Romans did it too. The Romans had a ritual called the lustratio. Priests would lead animals around the perimeter of an entire military camp before sacrificing them. The ritual was supposed to purify and protect the army. Different culture, different gods, different language. Yet somehow the behavior feels familiar. Because maybe the ritual wasn't really about predicting the future. Maybe it was about surviving the uncertainty of it. Think about what it feels like when something terrifying is completely outside your control. Your brain doesn't sit quietly with that. It searches for something, anything, a task, a routine, a sign that says, I've done my part. The Greeks may have called it an omen, but what they were really searching for was certainty. In 1944, thousands of Allied soldiers waited for the invasion of Normandy. Many knew the casualty estimates. Many understood they might not survive the next day. So what did they do? They wrote letters home, checked their gear, made jokes with the man beside them, prayed, sat quietly, and thought. One veteran later described it simply, there was no turning back, so you just lay there and thought. For thousands of years, military technology evolved faster than anything else. Yet the human response to fear barely moved at all. And that's where this story becomes genuinely strange, because modern psychology eventually studied all of this. And what researchers found should have been impossible. The same behaviors that appear in ancient Greece show up in modern research. The rituals, the shared meals, the prayers, the letters, even the jokes. Almost everything soldiers instinctively did the night before battle turns out to reduce fear in measurable ways. Researchers found that soldiers generally coped better when they stayed connected to their group, when they ate together, talked together, and waited together. Fear became easier to carry when it wasn't carried alone. Human beings are wired for collective survival, not individual survival. Even synchronized activities have been shown to increase pain tolerance and reduce stress responses, which means many of the behaviors soldiers developed over centuries weren't random at all. They were adaptations. Human solutions to a human problem. Then there was sleep. Researchers found that soldiers who slept better before combat generally showed better emotional control during it and lower rates of long-term psychological trauma afterward. Sleep wasn't weakness, it was preparation. The night before battle was almost never about becoming harder, it was about becoming steadier. Today's soldiers still do many of the same things. The details change, the instinct doesn't. They check their gear in a specific order, mentally rehearse the mission, look at photos of family, text someone they love, pray, listen to music, sit quietly, and try to sleep. The rituals evolved. The need behind them never did. Which brings us back to the question we started with. What do humans do when they know something terrible might be waiting for them tomorrow? After 2,000 years of history, the answer is surprisingly consistent. We don't become machines. We become more human. We reach for God, for routine, for friendship, for community, for the people we love. We write letters, we tell jokes, we keep our hands busy, we try to rest. Maybe that's the biggest lie we tell ourselves about courage. We imagine brave people are somehow different, that they feel less fear. History suggests the opposite. The men standing at Plataea, the Roman legionaries, the medieval knights, the soldiers of Bull Run, the men crossing the beaches of Normandy. They weren't fearless. They were human, and for more than 2,000 years, humans have responded to fear in almost exactly the same way. Not by becoming harder, by reaching for something that makes them steadier. A ritual, a prayer, a friend, a letter, a reason. The night before battle wasn't preparation for war. It was preparation for being human in the middle of it.